we have these packages, and we'll get more into them in a moment. We have these packages going on, now 10 of them, to various Democrats. And law enforcement, politicians, the media, the American people have every right to be concerned and outraged. Every right. It's rational, right? To be concerned about this is a bad thing, and it is a bad thing. But I went back and looked in the recent few months, and ABC News reported just a few weeks ago, suspicious letter sent to Republican Senator Susan Collins' home. Author said it contained ricin. Another one, envelope sent to Mattis, the Secretary of Defense, and the Chief of the Navy. They tested positive for ricin. Eric Trump saying the entire family has received white powder in the mail. That was in August. And there's others. Marco Rubio. Can't remember them all. It's just hard to ignore the fact that all these examples I gave you before, it wasn't that they were downplayed. It was that they weren't really covered in any thorough way, were they? All these packages going to the Trump family, all these packages going to the Pentagon, Mattis and so forth, to Rubio, other members here and there. Now, I'm not trying to make anything of this. I'm just saying the coverage was different. The coverage of what happened to Susan Collins was different. Wasn't it, Mr. Producer? There was no panic mode. They didn't blame Donald Trump for it, incidentally, because how could they? Because the Trump family was receiving some of these things. The president. It was sent to the president, and he gets death threats all the time. So there's something odd about how the reporting takes place on so much of this. Now, that said, I told you yesterday that I could see, and together we could see, how the media were moving to attacking Trump for what's taking place. And now it's fully open. It's fully open that Trump's words and Trump's rallies and Trump's tweets are encouraging this sort of thing. And I took a stand yesterday, at least for the first hour of the program, and I explained, well, actually, the media say many more hatred, vile, disgusting things than the president does, than any politician does. National Public Radio, NPR, contacted Westwood One and asked them if I would submit to a 20-minute interview. I said, why would I submit to a 20-minute interview? I just spent an hour talking about it. You can download it so you can do your little cherry picking in your setup job. And I don't even know why there is a National Public Radio. It's unnecessary. We have thousands of radio stations, scores of radio companies. Why do we need a government-run radio company where the hosts are overpaid and they have no ratings? They don't live by ratings or die by ratings like anybody else. There's no competition for them. It's government radio. What do you have government radio in a free society for? But anyway. So we have these ricin attacks against Republican senators. Susan Collins, right after she voted for Kavanaugh. Other threats. Positive for ricin, sent to Mattis and the Chief of the Navy. Sent to the President of the United States. White powder sent to members of the President's family. I really do not remember CNN getting all worked up about white powder being sent to the President's family. Does anybody else? Now, why does all this matter? It matters because the media are out there trying to determine who politically should benefit and who politically should be punished. It's the damnedest thing. It's the most grotesque thing. And, of course, it's Trump. Trump's to blame. Well, Trump's not to blame for any of it. He didn't do anything.